Hey guys, I was reading the Bible right before me and my wife went to bed tonight, and I opened up to the parable of the Great Feast in Matthew chapter 22. It's where Jesus is talking about how he called in the Old Testament. He starts off, he uses it as a story, but he says the king, God, sent out messengers to invite men and women of all ages, of all kind, to a wedding feast for his son. And the first group never actually accepted it, and it was the children of Israel. Not all of them accepted it, basically. So it was like, if I had 100 people, 5 accepted. The others went off, did random things. They killed his servants, the people who were sending the message, or what God would call the prophets at that time. But then he sends out another group of servants, and this is the second covenant with the church, to get the church ready. And he says, go to everyone who is good and bad alike. It doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter what they do. I want to invite them and tell them to dress for the occasion, basically. Because when in that day and age, especially in that culture, if you were invited to something, it would be like church here. We would get dressed up. We get dressed up for Easter, right? A lot of people wear suits on Easter. It's special. It's a holiday. They would do the same. Every time it's a holiday, every time it's a feast, every time a king, you want to get... They wouldn't see it as noticed, but we would call it here that. They want to get involved in community, in connection with the king. It's an honor just to be there. And so they would get dressed up. So there's people that went to this feast. And that's good. But at the very end, a lot of people miss this. And it's quite sad. Because it's who he's talking about. And I'll read it and then I'll explain it. He says, but when the king came in to meet the guests, he noticed a man who wasn't wearing the proper clothing for the wedding. Friend, he asked, how is it you are here without any wedding clothes? But the man had no reply. Then the king said to his aides, or his servants, bind his hands and feet and throw them into the utter darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called and few are chosen. What is that saying? That is saying, we see here online many people calling and saying they claim to know God, using God like he's an influence platform. They want his power, they want his position, they want everything else. But if you haven't noticed, he literally depicts what it is. If just dressing up for the occasion means you respect the king and you just want to be in the presence of him, then why did this man go but not dress up? The true reason? He didn't care. He didn't respect the king. He just wanted to be in the circle. Most Christians today just want to be in the circle with community, have all the connections. Get money, get business, get fame, get prosperity, position, power, whatever. They want the position more than they want the relationship. They want the position more than they want the presence. If you're going to claim to be a Christian, actually wear the clothes. Actually show up for God. And I'm not talking about between this and when you're at church. No. He doesn't look at that. Because his kingdom came when Christ came. We just don't see it yet. It's like we have a bag over our eyes. That's why we must trust the Holy Spirit. Hi, baby. If you're going to claim to be a Christian, actually live it out. You're walking around with Christ's name, but you're walking around with no righteousness that Christ gives you. He gave us a robe that he washed with his blood. And instead of taking it up for his banquet and getting it ready continually looking at it, examining it, making sure the gift he gave you is up to par with what he has asked. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about, oh, God, is this where you want it in the relationship? Is there anything else I need to do? How do I keep this clean? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do this? What are you doing? And are you wearing that robe? Are you living it out with your actions? Are you showcasing it with your words? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Are you just getting into church, getting into places, using Christ's name for your benefit, for your kingdom, for your name? This man, he went to the banquet. He was in heaven, and God had to throw him out into hell because he was not ready for what Christ had given. He did not accept the gown. He did not accept the robe. He did not wear it for the banquet. He did not wear it for the wedding. Instead, he was just there for himself. He wasn't there for Christ. He wasn't there to see the wedding. Okay, a lot of us have either been to a wedding or have seen a wedding. When you go to a wedding, and it's not your wedding, do you go for you? No. You usually go for the people who are getting married, right? I'm gonna guess everyone said yes. So you would wear the clothing appropriate. Why in Christianity, why is it the church used for ourselves then? We're not preparing ourselves like we are a bride. We're not letting God sanctify us, purify us, and cleanse us for His marriage to us as a church. Instead, we're disunifying each other, fighting for what we want, making arguments on what we believe should happen. We're not even following this, we are following what we want, making excuses, getting upset and judging. Christ came to save us and have a relationship with us, a deep one. But we're making excuses about it. Oh, He didn't come to save me. Yes, He did. Get ready for the marriage. Get ready for the banquet, or you'll miss out. I don't want anybody to miss out. I don't. That's why I'm giving you this warning. The King is coming. And are you ready? Are you ready for Him? I'm not talking about blameless. I'm not talking about perfect. I'm talking about, are you in His presence? Are you in a relationship? That's what unity is, a relationship. That's what this ring means, relationship. What are you doing, and how are you seeking God to put on that gown? Because only He can help you. Think about that. Well, it's late. I gotta get going to bed. I love you guys. Jesus love you.